Before I start the video, let's address the elephant in the room, and that is the elephant in the garage, I guess, technically, right? And that is that the truck is now being wrapped. The wrap is underway, and I got the front fender done, that little front bumper part, whatever you call that, and the other side as well. And, I thought like I'd do this grand reveal at the end, but then I kind of figured that maybe it would be a little bit tacky. So, and also I wouldn't be able to show you guys the truck for a week and a half because I'd be wrapping it. So for a week and a half, I'd either not be putting out videos or be putting videos out that, just has a wall behind me. And I don't know. I just didn't want to do all that. I figured it's, I'm not revealing anything super crazy. It's just a wrap color at the end of the day. But this is the color. It's a matte. Well, it's technically a satin, but the manufacturer, which is KPMF, you could see it right behind the truck. They call it matte. Really, it's a satin. It's a satin metallic. It's called silver titanium. It is a freaking awesome color. I love it. This is the second personal car I've wrapped in this color. And it's going well so far. We got a lot of truck ahead of us, but I just started last night. So we're getting there. But nonetheless, let's get to the video. This is 10 things that I've learned since buying my pickup truck. And this is my first truck. And today actually marks 2 months since I've owned the truck. And there's been a lot of adjusting and things I've learned over that period of just 2 months. The first thing is the steering. Now, all the vehicles that I've owned in the prior have been cars, SUVs, coupes, convertibles, sedans, anything in the car sphere, and specifically a lot of European stuff. When the European cars have, more precise, sharp steering. And so when I bought this truck, first few days on the highway, where the highway sort of goes in like a bend, I was oversteering because as I'm putting steering input in, I'm not getting that feedback that I normally do. And I find myself coming out of the turn and I'm like, whoa, what was I just doing there? And that's because I just had to get used to the fact that this is a truck and there's less feedback coming through the steering. Obviously the whole setup's going to be more numb just because that's the nature of this type of vehicle. But now I'm totally used to it. In fact, I actually kind of like it better in a way. You just get used to the fact that you're not going to get a lot of feedback in return, and that's perfectly fine. But those first few days, that was a lot of getting used to. And I found it almost hard to stay in my lane to a certain point. Just imagine like the highway, there's a bend and you're going 70 miles an hour, and coming out of that bend when you're kind of hitting straight again was just, I found myself putting way too much input in. The second is tire pressures. Now, all my cars in the past, I was used to the fact that the front tire, or the front tires always had less PSI than the rear. But on this truck, and my understanding is a lot of trucks, it's the opposite. The front, the manufacturer is saying 55 PSI, and the rear 45 PSI. And when I first bought the truck at the dealer, and I went in the truck and I checked the tire pressures, and I'm like, that's weird. I asked the sales rep, I'm like, is that supposed to be that way? He's like, yeah, that's how all trucks are. When you think about it, though, it makes perfect sense, right? You got less weight in the rear. I think trucks are usually like 60-40. And also you want more pressure in the front to sort of compensate for that weight, right? And then the rear, you want less pressure to compensate for the fact that there's less weight. So, it makes perfect sense when you think about it. But that was one of those things where I was like, I've never seen that before. But, just because I've never owned a truck before. The third thing I've noticed is that nobody tailgates me anymore. This is the most actually amazing thing ever. And that is the fact that maybe 80 to 90% less tailgating. When you're in a car, an SUV even, especially European, right? Everybody hates those European guys with their fancy cars. You just get tailgated left and right. And, I've lived now in enough states. I've lived 5 or 6 states in my life so far, and I've been to many places in the country. Tailgating's bad everywhere. Unless you're out in the middle of nowhere, everybody tailgates, unfortunately. But in a truck, people don't tailgate you as much. I don't know if it's because they can't see as well, or there's the fear element, right? They probably think, well, most truck guys got a GUN on them, or maybe an ego to go along with it. I don't know what people think, right? But I don't care what they think, because at the end of the day, people are tailgating me less and I love it. The fourth one is modding. So on vehicles in the past, a lot of times when you're modding, it's mainly just to make it look better, right? Whether you're doing, I don't know, carbon fiber mirror caps, you're doing front splitters or aero bits, or I don't know, dressing up the engine bay. A lot of that's just to look better. But what I love about trucks is that not only can you mod to make the truck look better, but you can mod for practicality, right? A lot of the mods, whether it's a headache bar or headache rack or light bars or bed accessories, a lot of it's for practicality. And I love that because I think it's so cool that you can make the truck look better and make it also easier to live with. And the two can go perfectly in harmony with each other. Now, I know a lot of people with trucks mod distastefully and don't mod for practicality, but I love the fact that you can mod for practicality and to make your truck look better, and not to mention the fact that there are an endless amount of modifications that you can do to these trucks, so much aftermarket support, and I just think that's so awesome. The fifth one is washing the truck. Yeah, the truck is way higher than any vehicle I've owned. Washing the roof is a chore. In fact, most of the times I don't even do it. Well, I do it sometimes, but I don't do it every time I wash a truck just because it's a PITA. Even stuff like the windshield. I mean, I'm 5'10". I'm not a tall guy. I use a step stool to clean the windshield, the back glass, stuff like that. I never really had to do that with a car before. Even an SUV, you know, I had a Q7, I had tons of X5s, and you could hit the windshield pretty easily with those. But on a truck, no way. The sixth one is the fact that there's such a larger front end on the truck. And so what that means is a couple things. When I started driving it, I had to get used to the fact that curbs on the road, you can't see those anymore. It's a guessing game, right? Now, I haven't hit a curb yet. I don't think I will, because if you just, I mean, as long as you're not a terrible driver, it's pretty easy to like guesstimate where things are and just not hit them, right? And I also don't text and drive, or I try to avoid that as much as I can. So I wouldn't say I'm distracted either while driving, but you do have to guesstimate where things are when you're turning onto a road that maybe has, you know, curbs and it's a little on the tighter side, going through alleys, you know, where there's tighter spots, mainly the stuff that's in front of you, right? So if you're turning onto a side road that has a curb and that curb sort of in front of you as you're turning, you need to sort of estimate where that is. So you can't really see it anymore. The other thing is that I don't pull into parking spots anymore. With my vehicles, I maybe would do that 30% of the time. Now I don't pull in anywhere anymore. I back in 100% of the time. And that's just because it's way easier. And I don't have to guess where the bushes are, or, you know, I just don't want to hit anything. I want to be able to actually back in straight in between the lines and pulling in. It's not as easy to do that anymore. That's just sort of the nature of this truck. Seventh one is the fact that, you know, in my cars in the past, specifically SUVs, I like to sit higher. I always would raise the seat to the highest position. Now in this truck, you know, they're just four-way adjustable seats, nothing fancy. Forward, back, and you know, you can recline it forward and back as well. And I actually wish the seat was a little bit higher in this truck, which actually I have something arriving today that's going to fix that. I'm going to be doing a product review video on that here in the coming week, which I'm really excited about. This might be the thing I'm most excited about because it raises the seat just a little bit, not just the front of the seat, the entire seat, which that's been a complaint of mine. Like, I want to sit high. I got a high truck. I want to sit high. I want to see things, right? That's going to fix that, I think. But the driving position in a pickup truck is super intoxicating. I mean, it's so nice, especially in the Warlock where you got a 1-inch lift as well. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be some, you know, truck with a 5 or 6-inch lift driving by you, and then you feel like you're in a car again. But for the most part, you're higher than most of the traffic. And that makes me feel safer. It makes it honestly easier to drive. And it's just nice because you could see things around you. And, you know, if we are talking about ego, it is a bit of a good feeling to feel like you're higher up than most other people. You know, let's just be real here, right? But I really like the driving position in a pickup truck. The, what are we at, 8 now? Yeah, the 8th one is just practicality and the does it fit question. So what I mean by does it fit is, let's say You go to Lowe's and you got to buy a new dishwasher, or you got a bunch of cardboard you got to bring to the recycling center. And in the SUVs that I've driven in the past, it's always like a guessing game, right? I mean, you're not fitting a dishwasher in an SUV, but cardboard, it's like, all right, well, how much, can I really bring with me? I can only fit this amount of length. A pickup truck, I mean, you don't have that issue. You want to put a dishwasher in the back? Go right ahead. You got a bunch of cardboard? Put it right in the back. And so you want to buy a bunch of mulch bags? No problem. It's super easy. It's such an easy truck to live with. And that's the biggest thing. The one thing I worried about when I was buying this truck is I'm like, all right, I no longer have a trunk. I got a bed. And yeah, there's some advantages to having a trunk over a bed. But what I've come to realize is that I got the Husky bed liner, or the full bed liner, which I really like. And then I'm going to be putting a tonneau cover on this thing this week, which will be another video. I know I'm slamming you guys with the product review videos, but I'm going to mod my truck. I want you guys to see what I'm doing. And, I want to share that with you guys. So I hope you like it. But nonetheless, doing the bed cover. And then once you have those two things, I mean, that's a trunk. It's not as tall, but that's a perfectly concealed space that you could put luggage, you could put bags, you could put anything that you would normally put in a trunk. So now the idea of like not having a trunk, I'm not even concerned about that anymore, because I have a 5'7" trunk now. That's even bigger than an SUV. And the cabin space on the inside, my wife always says, she's like, the amount of cabin space, the height of the cabin, the width, the middle seat in this truck, she can sit in perfectly fine. It's an actual usable middle seat. Try sitting in a middle seat in an X5 or a Q7, or then go to like a subcompact SUV. I mean, the middle seat's useless. Maybe you could put your water bottle there. But with a truck, it's just the practicality is endless, and I love it. I love the fact that this truck is so easy to live with. And that's the biggest thing. That's maybe the main takeaway, is the fact that now I ask myself two questions, or I ask myself a question and I state another thing to myself. The question is, how did I ever live without a truck my whole life? And then the statement is, I will never not have a pickup truck again in my life, because they are so practical. The ninth one is the tailgate. And that is that the tailgate makes an awesome workbench. I use the tailgate so much for just putting stuff on there, or if I'm doing something and I'm unpackaging something, I'm trying to organize stuff, I'm going through something. The tailgate is the perfect workbench. And I never really put two and two together, but I mean, it makes perfect sense. And I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with SUVs, but on the X5s, something that is sort of a staple with the X5s is that it's a split tailgate. So you got the trunk that goes up, and then there's a fold down, and that fold down you could sit on, you can, do stuff. But it's mini, but still, that's what's really nice about the X5s. This takes that to a whole nother level. I got actually something that's feels like a table that I can do all those things on. And to me, that's super awesome, and I've learned to love it. The 10th and final one, and I mean, this is going to come across as a little cheesy, but the community is maybe been the biggest eye-opener for me. The enthusiasm. And I don't just see it in my, on the internet or, online. I mean, well, internet and online are the same thing. But what I mean is, even in my comment section, I see it every time I post a video. The enthusiasm, the passion for trucks, everything down to the options, the smallest option, the modifications. I love the enthusiasm. I've never seen anything like it before. And the community, when me going into this, I always thought to myself, everybody's just fighting about who's the best out of the big three, right? Ford, Ram, or GM. And what I've actually realized is that there's a lot of people that used to be a GM guy and now they own a Ram. And they used to be a Ram guy and maybe now they own a Ford. The loyalty to brands, I feel like you're seeing it less now. Maybe because brands have changed so much even over the past 10 years, right? Ram is not the company it was 10 years ago. I think we can all agree on that. GM, not the company it was 20 years ago. I think we can all agree on that. And so people are kind of stepping outside their comfort zones. They're going to other brands. They're trying new things. Maybe somebody says, hey, I'm not a fan of the 10R80, so I want to ram with the ZF8 and see how that works out for me. But the community and the passion, the enthusiasm for these trucks, it's intoxicating, and I love it. It really makes you feel like you're part of something bigger, right? And that all plays into everything else, right? Like the mods, the practicality, the ability to endlessly modify these trucks and do whatever you want to them. I love the community. That really is what makes this so special. I mean, I had one car in the past. It was a 2 Series, and I had an Instagram page for that. And I got up to, on that page, I think we got up to 12,500 subscribers, organic, natural, just posting a lot and really sharing my build. And, the most you would ever really get in the comment section is like emojis, or somebody's like, nice, looks great, I really love it. But what I see in my comment section, just on my YouTube channel, which is a fraction of the subscribers that I had on that platform, the enthusiasm, the people telling me what they have, what they've done, really engaging. I see people engaging not only on my videos, but other videos, people engaging back and forth with each other on what product they recommend for solving this issue or that issue. I just think it's really cool, and I'm glad to be a part of it now. So anyways, that's the list. 10 things that I've learned now that I'm a first-time pickup truck owner. What I can say is that nothing really bad or negative has come out of this ownership journey so far. Everything is positive, and those little things like steering and just overcorrecting, it's just things you need to get used to, right? I mean, just another thing is like with my European cars, you could go 90 miles an hour on the highway. Not recommending that, not saying I've ever done it, just saying in theory, you could go 90 miles an hour on the highway and it feels like you're going 20, right? But on a truck, when you go 75, to me, it feels like I'm going 75. Not that that's a bad thing, that's just the reality of it. In fact, it's probably good that 75 feels like 75 for obvious reasons, right? But overall, I love the truck. I'm so happy to get this vinyl started, get the car wrapped or the truck wrapped. I can't wait to get it done. And I'm getting panels done as I can. I'm busy right now, but I'm not going to let this slow down my video journey. I'm not going to make it some big mystery that you guys need to wait. This is the color. And maybe within the next week to a week and a half, you'll see the full truck wrapped. And I'll go over a lot of different things, like even how I wrapped each of these panels, technique, recommendations, what I disassembled, right? I'll go through all of that. I'll do a whole dedicated video on that for you guys. But for now, obviously, my goal is just to get the truck wrapped. I'll build up, some footage, and then we'll put something together at the very end. Thanks for watching.